First at 4, Governor Whitmer makes a plea to parents and coaches about face masks. Plus, the state's top doctor has a warning about playdates. The 2020 race takes center stage in Michigan again. President Trump supporters are ready and waiting, but the governor offers stinging words hours before his arrival. Paula.
Well, they're called Zoom bombers. They bust into remote classrooms, wreak profane havoc, and slither away. What one school district is doing to put the brakes on the pirates. Ben?
Hey, Paula, we have asked the clouds nicely to please leave. So far, they have refused, but I think we could be more persuasive as we head into the weekend. We'll look at it all right now. First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, many parents have questions about their children wearing face masks during high school sports. Governor Gretchen Whitmer clarified that requirement yesterday and talked about it this morning. The order states athletes training for, practicing, or playing organized sports must wear face coverings when social distancing is not possible. Today, the governor's team downplayed any medical concerns of wearing the masks and focused on stopping the spread of COVID.
We're really imploring districts and leagues, coaches and families alike to ensure they do everything to keep the student athletes safe and encourage the behavior that'll do that. If we want to engage in football, we've got to be smart about it, and we've got to protect our student athletes and our fans and our families alike.
Now, we did ask about the science and the data of young athletes wearing masks while playing sports. We did get an answer from the state's chief medical executive, and Dr. Frank McGeorge offers his perspective. We'll share that with you new at 6. Meantime, Governor Whitmer unveiled a Futures for Frontliners program to reward those heroes of the pandemic. It's a $24 million program to provide a tuition-free path for frontline workers to go to community college. The money comes from the CARES Act passed by Congress. Frontline workers who qualify must fill out an application by December 31st. We did post a link to the program on the coronavirus page at clickondetroit.com. Also, the governor's team is urging caution with all social gatherings, including play dates. For your kids, you'll hear that warning in a few seconds. But first, the state just reported 924 new cases in the past 24 hours, along with 17 additional deaths. While today's numbers are up, the state's chief medical executive says the number of cases per million across the state are trending down. She's tracking 61 new outbreaks, but that number is also smaller than last week. Dr. Caldoun says social gatherings continue to be a hot spot for outbreaks and says even playdates can be risky.
Please consider not having those playdates as you normally would. Try to be creative and have video conference calls with your children's friends if possible. And if you must have a gathering, try to make it as small as possible and follow the governor's executive orders. Know that outdoor is safer than indoor, but outdoor does not mean that it's 100% safe. 6 feet of distance should be maintained wherever possible, and if you can't, you should wear a mask.
Today marks 6 months since the first COVID cases were confirmed in our state. Remember, we'll have more from the governor when you join us at 5 and 6. Let's move to the first forecast. I think better weather is coming our way. We sure hope so, because Ben, it was awfully gray out there today.
Yeah, we've set kind of a dreary streak here, Karen, this week, but things are looking up as we get into the weekend. Unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with the clouds at least through the rest of tonight. Current temperatures still on the cool side, and most of us, at least on these 4 temperatures here, all below 70 degrees, 65 in Ann Arbor, one of the warmer spots. In that north wind, not really helping the cause, just adding that cool breeze to the elements there. Storm Tracker 4 has a big slug of moisture on the other side of the lake, and some of it off to our north. That's gradually going to move southeast here in the next 24 hours. So we will expect to see some of those raindrops tonight. We'll talk about that coming up. Some sunshine returning, and more on the showers and storms that we're expecting this weekend as well in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. The battle for your vote in the 2020 presidential race is playing out right now here in Michigan. We are in mid-Michigan right now near Saginaw, waiting for President Trump to arrive. He's the second candidate this week to make a stop in Michigan. Joe Biden was in Warren yesterday. You can see the president's supporters are already out in force. The president comes to Michigan as he faces a new backlash over his handling of the COVID pandemic and criticism from Governor Whitmer. Kimberly Gill following the latest from the newsroom. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. For the past 24 hours, the top story in Washington is that new Bob Woodward book about President Trump. The author has taped conversations that appear to show the president acknowledging the danger of coronavirus while still downplaying the risks in public. President Trump just defended himself again at the White House, taking credit, I should say, for closing the borders with other countries. Listen.
There was no lie here. What we're doing is we're leading, and we're leading in a proper way. And if, frankly, somebody else was leading it, they wouldn't have closed it.
And you may remember Woodward is one of the journalists who broke the Watergate story. So the president spoke with him for hours on the record. The president says he tried to play it cool in public to avoid a panic. Critics say the disconnect may have given Americans a false sense of security, leading to more deaths. Michigan's Governor Gretchen Whitmer, calls the administration reckless.
I think the biggest enemy of the state right now is the misinformation that's coming out of the head of state. I think the biggest threat to the American people is the American president right now. And it's devastating, and I do not relish saying that.
Well, hours after that comment, the governor announced President Trump has rejected her request to fully fund the National Guard as it responds to the pandemic. Instead, the feds will pay 75%. There's a lot to talk about as the president is expected to speak here in Michigan at 7 p.m. We will go live to Freeland tonight at 5 for a preview. For now, though, we'll send it back to you, Karen.
All right, always appreciate it. Thank you, Kim. Well, we do know it's happening, especially during the pandemic, those virtual meetings getting hijacked. Well, now schools across the nation are dealing with online interlopers disrupting virtual classrooms and wreaking havoc. Paula Tutman takes us to one local district that has been attacked numerous times and is taking some strong measures to stop the disruptions.
Then once you get the answer to this.
Because teachers and students already aren't struggling enough to figure out how to make remote learning worthwhile, engaging, and significant, school districts across the nation now have to be concerned with the so-called Zoom bombers, like this one that took place in the West Bloomfield district this week.
What are you doing? You get no.
An expletive-laced rant laser-focused on disrupting a class and embarrassing the teacher.
It was really inappropriate and hurt the feelings of many of our teachers. And for our staff and teachers across the country and the region who gave up most of their summer and are really trying to learn how to navigate education differently and to still provide quality instruction every day, it is so disrespectful.
It comes from sharing private login information that was provided by the instructors.
We have our waiting rooms enacted, but they come in as a student, maybe another student in the class, and because that student has shared their information, and the teacher admits them because they recognize that student's name, and then that person comes in, typically does not turn their screen on, and so you cannot see them, and then either says inappropriate things, types inappropriate things in the chat, those sorts of things, and then leave.
The West Bloomfield district, which has all high school classes online and a significant population of underclassmen online, has had at least 6 Zoom bombs this week alone in the middle and high school level. And these pirates are logging in and disrupting from across the country. Acting swiftly to protect its students and teachers, the district put dual login procedures in place today. That means even kindergartners will have to jump through extra hoops just to log into their remote classrooms.
They now are required to sign in with their West Bloomfield email addresses and use those district-issued passwords. It does not allow them to change their name on the screen, so it is their email that is there. It is locked. It does a couple of things for us, Paula. It allows us to see who's in the room, but also if a student would unwisely choose to share their West Bloomfield email address and login credentials, we would be able to track where that came from.
And for students who share login information to enable these Zoom bombers, the penalties will be severe, up to and including possible virtual expulsion. Yeah, this is really, really important stuff. And I know this is West Bloomfield, but I would say parents, any parents whose students are learning remotely from any district, go over the rules of the road with them. Make sure they're not sharing their information, which can also be very, very dangerous for them. Karen, I mean, honestly, as if education right now isn't difficult enough, I'm going to bite my tongue on this at this point.
It's horrific.
This is that serious.
Right. Frustrating for these teachers, for the parents, and for the kids who are following the rules and not sharing all of that information. All right. Thank you, Paula. Still ahead here, first at 4, it is another sign the Black Friday shopping tradition might be going away for good. One retailer is making a change, so will others follow? And do your glasses fog up when you wear a face mask? This upgrade claims to solve that problem and others. We'll talk about how it works. But first, college controversy. New developments in the story of a professor who reportedly admitted to pretending to be a black woman.